So is the market going to continue to sell off, or are we finally going to begin to recover? This is just the question that I'm beginning to ask myself. I don't know if it's just me, but I've been feeling right that at least this past week, I did pretty well today. Just so you guys can see very quickly on TQQQ. I walked away with 23K on the day. I'm very grateful for it. That's not an average day for me. But when it comes down to every other trading day, I either just wasn't trading at all. I mean, I shorted NVIDIA, 2 days ago, and it was fine, but I haven't felt like I've been in sync with the market. And I feel like a lot of you might be relating to me. I'm not too sure. Let me know down in the comment section. But with that being said, wanted to pull this up. I mean, today, right, kind of all over the place because of the Jackson Hole meeting. So we originally started a little bit on the bullish side. We aggressively sold off during that meeting, and then the market found its support and then began to recover. And we pretty much ended at where we peaked at during that Jackson Hole meeting right before it started. Yesterday, it was an unbelievable day if you were a bear. It was a slaughter if you were a bull, right? And again, market aggressively sold off. This is when it made sense, when I shorted NVIDIA, right? But the day before that, it was extremely bullish. So this is kind of like the roller coaster that I'm talking about where, and even the day before, right? It started off based off of the previous close. It started off bullish. And then by the time the market opened, it's literally sold off for the remainder of the day. And this is kind of the confusing part where I know even for myself, I mean, I've been in this market for years, and weeks like this still really don't do well with me. And this is where I wanted to kind of make this video and talk about, what are my takeaways, right? The first thing that I need to make sure that I focus on next week is if anything like this continues, right? All these inconsistencies, all these changes of direction every single day, I can't predict the future. So I have to respect the market, and a way that you respect it is by respecting it with your position size. I know that a lot of you guys get annoyed when I talk about position size, but I think position size is really like the secret behind, the way to really last in this market, right? Even if you take a really hefty loss, but if you're really sized down on that position size, you can tolerate it, right? And when looking at the overall market, you guys could see here that for QQQ, which is the NASDAQ ETF, looking at this on the 4-hour time frame, it kind of brings me back to that original question. We've been bullish pretty much all 2023, right? Higher highs, higher lows. This is the first time that we've broken below the moving average. And now we've been selling off for about 2.5 weeks. So the question that I'm beginning to ask myself is, well, are we going to continue to sell off? And do I want to go with the bears? Or is it consolidating and potentially going to begin to recover and go back to previous highs of 388, right? And I think this is where I'm struggling right now, is that if you notice for this past week, it hasn't been bearish. It hasn't been bullish. It's been very inconsistent. And it's during that inconsistency that I see myself doing best. It's one of the things that I journaled today in my trading journal. And I wanted to share it with you, right? I sometimes feel like we focus so much on, our successes. And even sometimes when I recap my red days, right? That doesn't really share with you kind of like what I'm taking away from the market and what I see going on. Or if I feel like I'm working really well with the market, kind of like I was 2 or 3 weeks ago. But then a week like this, I'm kind of just like, I don't feel like I'm in sync with the market. And that's okay, right? That just means that next week, when the market opens, I should still stick to being selective. I should still stay very aware that if the inconsistencies continue for the overall market, right? If it's bullish one day, bearish the other, I'm going to want to size down. I don't need to trade with 400 to 500K behind every single position. I can size down to, 40 to 50K until I gain more confidence about the true direction of where the market possibly might be going, right? And it's during those moments that I can really make it happen, right? But I feel like maybe it's just me, but I know it's not. I know it's a lot of you guys because you guys put a lot of pressure on yourself because you want to perform. But I feel like one of my biggest takeaways that I wanted to share with you guys is, instead of setting up daily goals or even weekly goals, then maybe setting up bi-weekly goals or monthly goals when it comes down to percentage gain returns, right? So instead of setting up, I want to make X amount every single time that I trade, I mean, that's a lot of pressure, because at that point, it also encourages you to maybe not cut losses or manage risk because you're so obsessed about trying to stay profitable, right? Or hit that daily target. And that is a lot of pressure, even for myself, right? With years of experience. I mean, it only takes one red day to make you feel uncomfortable. And you can really start digging yourself into a deeper hole if you allow it to. But if you realize what you did wrong and you cut those losses and then you choose to size down until you get confidence, right? You gain that confidence back and make sure you feel comfortable with sizing up when you're truly comfortable with the conditions that you are trading in. And that's my biggest question to you is, do you feel comfortable with the current market's conditions, right? Because that's really what it is to me. It's, are conditions favorable enough that I can step on the gas? And if it's not the end of the world. I just need to respect that. And that means size down, right? And that's what I'm looking forward to with next week, where again, it's kind of just, I wanted to share my thoughts with you. I don't even know if you guys would enjoy this video. It's kind of all over the place, but I wanted to share with you kind of with one of my struggles right now. And that's just feeling like I'm not working really well with the market due to the inconsistencies and what I'm trying to do to be proactive about it. Instead of it allowing it to really take over me, to understand it and then to put less pressure on myself instead of setting these daily or weekly goals, to maybe aim a little bit, further, and biweekly or monthly goals are something that would put less pressure on me and allow me to be more selective, right? To really allow opportunity to present itself. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. But again, overall, very grateful for how today played out. So 23.355K on the day, and excited to see what we can make of it next week. So I hope to see you guys for our live session. I do trade live every morning, which means that you get to see my entries, my exits, and my thought process behind every trade I take during those live sessions. If you want to learn more about it, I work with one team and one team only. I offer nothing else. It's just these live sessions, and it's the second link in the description down below. I really do appreciate you guys' time. I hope that we're in the thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.